Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight on our Business Booster on tonight, Tuesday, the 1st of April. And tonight, it's all about the Power Hour. So tonight, we're actually going to dedicate our next hour from now until 8 o'clock on doing some activity that is beneficial for you and your business. How's that sound? Yeah?
Sounds good.
We're actually, because I know, today's life, it's busy. It's busy for me. It's busy for you guys. It's hard sometimes to find a bit of time to set aside for this business, especially if you've got a full-time job as well to do. So tonight, I'm literally, I've got you all on the call now. You're stuck with me for the next hour, and you're going to do some work.
Oh, God.
All right. I figured this was probably the easiest way to capture everyone. I do have a bit of a presentation which I want to share with you all. Let me just put that up there. And so our Power Hour. So for the next 15 minutes, you're going to dedicate to reaching out to past customers or prospects, send them a personalized message, follow up on inquiries, or share updates about new products or offers. So any promotions that we might currently have. But you've got the next 15 minutes to do that. And go.
Okay. I've already been doing this while I was at work today, Andrew. And
You don't get
yesterday.
out of it,
I'm only
Avalon. That
joking.
easy.
No, I'll do more. Just saying, I utilize other time, which I
Well,
probably
that's good.
shouldn't do.
I'm glad you're doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So thinking about any, and for our new ladies that have joined us, you could think about starting your list of potential prospects, or your warm list, as we call it. So it's everyone that you know currently, and you start writing that list down so you know who you're going to actually start talking to about our products or the business side of things. Karen, do you have any other suggestions on where we can start looking for things for the new ladies?
Well, anyone new this month gets a free GI Pro.
Correct.
So I don't know if that could be something we tell people.
I've got a suggestion.
Yes.
You ladies could think about if we were to have an event, a Lumi event, and a fun facial night at one of your houses down the Gold Coast, who would you invite? And maybe just think about that, and also think about what we could do that night rather than, any ideas that you think we could contribute to making that a fun night. So just maybe think about that, because we've already talked about that. Oh, well, I have with Sandy, maybe not with you, Christy.
No, not with me, but that sounds good.
Yeah.
And for all of our what do we call them? Well, our regulars, those who have had a business for a bit longer, maybe look at your current structure or who you've currently got in your business and see who hasn't ordered in a little while, and try and reignite them. I'm sure we've got some promotions at the moment, don't we? There's a Mannatech for the world. So
yes, till the 20th of the month.
Yes. Yes.
Well, also the free GI Pro is still coming out for orders till the 13th, I think, isn't it?
Oh, yes, the trial pack, but also this month for brand new signups, we've got GI Pro again.
Full box.
Yep. So any new sign up with an order over $150 will receive a free GI Pro.
I'm thinking.
And I think love your Lumi promotion, right? Still until 6.
In Sydney.
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah. So you've got like this next week, I think, for that one. But yes, you can definitely get some people in for that.
I know we've got exciting training in Sydney next Sunday. So if anyone knows anyone in Sydney, they could
Mm,
have a talk to them and invite them along to that. That'll be
yes.
really fantastic next Sunday afternoon between 12 and 4.
So can you invite people who aren't already signed up?
Yeah.
Well, you can actually, but
Yeah.
probably be good to have a bit of a conversation with them about it before they come. But yes, absolutely you can.
Definitely. It's
I
not
think
really about products though. So
no. Well, I've got a woman that's half interested in the business and half interested in products, and I can't get her across the line. I've tried
well,
getting her onto things, and I just thought if I could invite her to something like that where she can see what's going on, what the
yeah,
company's about.
definitely. Yeah, bring her along, Sandy, for sure.
I'll try.
And feel the fun and the energy and how nice we all are.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, that's the
yeah.
most compelling part.
Of
definitely.
course, yes.
Well, she was a Tupperware consultant, and she's done it a couple of times, like done it and then left it and then come back. And when she came back to it, she said they had no support from the company at all, and only for the fact that she'd been trained prior, that she knew what to do. But she said anyone new coming in, they were just left on their own. So, I just sort of, she could come and see how supportive, everybody is and what support we get from head office.
Yep.
That it might just help
Yeah,
get her over that line.
Not to
definitely.
mention she'd get a lift with you, Sandy. So
That's
that'd
right.
be
Oh yeah, I would take her. Yeah. So I didn't want to invite her before I found out whether
No, definitely. I actually thought after Saturday's Adelaide event that it would have been good for new people to be at. So, and Karen and I had that chat as well afterwards. So yeah,
We
definitely bring her along, and then you can talk to her on the way home or something, or on the way there about the products.
Yeah. I have spoken to her about both, but
Yep.
yeah, just I don't know what the hesitation is, but because she hasn't flat out said no, so that's one bonus. So I'll keep trying anyway.
Perfect. So we've got 6 minutes to go, people. Think about everyone in your business currently. If they haven't ordered for maybe 4 months or more, let's try and get them reignited.
Hmm.
Mm.
And yes, if anyone knows anyone in Sydney that hasn't maybe ordered in a while, and maybe you want to try and get them ordering again, you could let them know that on Thursday night we have a Lumi Live event in the city.
Oh,
So
okay.
that would
Yeah.
be a good one to get them to come along. So demonstration, bit of information about the Lumi
Oh,
products.
yeah. Okay.
And then we'll also actually have some special bundles that you can purchase on the night, and that's it.
And it
Okay.
sounds really exotic because it's on a rooftop, isn't it,
Yes.
Andrew?
Yep. With
And it's bilingual, Korean and
yes,
English. Yeah,
correct.
which is very exciting. So you're
Mm,
actually going to be people are actually going to be able to buy the product on the night, are they?
yes. Yeah. So we wanted to do that for the last ones as well, but just logistics and everything, we couldn't do it. But this one, yeah, we've got
You
some.
fine-tuned it.
Yes, we've got some
That's good.
bundles that they can purchase that are reasonably discounted, and they get a free gift as well. So
Yeah,
yeah,
Just remind me what date that Lumi event is, please.
it's this Thursday.
This
this
Thursday.
Thursday.
Okay.
I've emailed out the flyer to my guys. So.
Yes, you have.
Fantastic.
And I glanced it and didn't read it properly. Naughty. Okay. Oh, yes, look, there it is right there.
Mm.
Ilza, Jerry, how are you going? have we Gone through the business? Picked out some random people to message?
Yeah, we're working on it.
Sorry?
We're working on it.
Okay, good.
Giving to some customers that we haven't been that we haven't seen in a while. Or,
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Mm. Isn't that Lumi special still on for a while?
Yeah, I think this is the
Yeah.
last week for it, isn't it?
It's
I can't
the
remember it.
6th.
Yeah, there's 6, I
just-
think.
I just had a look, Karen. It's until the 6th.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Ilsa. Looking forward to seeing you at Elevate, Ilsa and Jerry. No pressure, just
No
looking forward to
pressure.
seeing you.
It'd be good to see everyone at Elevate.
Yes, everybody. The Adelaide mob are all coming, aren't you, Adelaide?
Excellent. I know Pauline is, yeah?
Yes.
How are you going with your list, Pauline? Have you texted people? Told them about a couple of specials, maybe? You're on mute. Sorry.
Really? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I've got a list of about 6 people, and
Excellent.
I've just sent a text to a lady whom I've been trying to contact. So I thought, right, I'll just send her a quick message with a little carrot on the end, which will be the pack of GI Pro, the little,
Yep.
the sampler.
Yes.
Which I think is a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so we'll see. Has she replied?
Fantastic.
No, not yet.
Oh, no. I'm not expecting replies straight away, but
Oh,
I
was hoping
am.
She might.
well,
Come on, guys,
it would be
respond.
nice.
I was hoping she might.
Instant reply.
Remember, everyone's busy, Avalon.
Oh, well, no
Tea
excuse.
time, maybe. I don't know. But anyway,
True.
that's done. So yeah.
Perfect.
So
All right, we've got 1 more minute for this.
Andrew,
Yeah,
I clicked on share instead of on chat. Am I sharing my screen or anything?
I don't believe so.
It's come up green. I don't know
Green.
whether it normally is green.
On around you as the box, or
The little box that with share it written underneath it.
yeah, so that's
It's
always
come up
green.
green. It
Yeah.
is normally green.
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
I just gave myself a bit of a fright because I was not looking really what I was doing. I was expecting
You
to
know,
do
it would have
something on the chat.
when you click on share, it'll then come up with another box that says what screen do you want to share, or what kind of program do you want to share. So unless
Okay,
you
yep.
then followed through with that, you're not sharing yet.
No, didn't do that. I just got a shock and I went, oh. So, okay.
Perfect.
So, other person.
All right. Well, that was our first 15 minutes. Do we need another another 5, or are we all good with that? Has everyone
good.
sent out their texts?
Sending one
Yes,
last time, but
hopefully.
you can keep going. Keep
Perfect.
going.
So next up, content creation sprint. I'm actually just going to go through the next couple of PowerPoints, and then we're going to decide as a collective on what we want to do for the last half an hour of our time together. But one of the ideas is content creation. So use the Power Hour to craft impactful content like social media posts, short videos, or blog snippets, highlight product benefits, share testimonials, and tell engaging stories about the business. Keep tone approachable and genuine. So that's one possible concept or idea to do. Networking explosion. Spend time connecting with potential leads and like-minded professionals. This can be through social media platforms like LinkedIn, say, or Facebook, local events or community groups. And then training and development focus. So dedicate time to learning and sharing tips within the group to boost skills, whether it's improving sales techniques, mastering digital marketing, or refining communication strategies. Knowledge sharing strengthens the team and equips everyone for success. And we know that is definitely true through our momentum events when we get group activity and conversation happening. So the next option is plan, set goals, and then track progress. So outline clear, achievable goals for the hour. For example, setting targets for reaching out to a specific number of customers or generating leads. Celebrate small victories and stay motivated, and track progress for future growth. Then there's another whole list of possible activities for you to do with your teams, because this is a great concept. Like I said at the very beginning, everyone is very busy these days. Life is just busy. And so it's hard to find time sometimes to get or to do this other part of your life, which is sharing the products with everyone else. So it's always good to try and dedicate time towards it if we can. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it would be great if you could do an hour a day. And if you have set aside an hour a day and know specifically for that hour, I'm doing nothing but working on this business, you'll generally be able to get through quite a lot within that hour because you're focused to do it. And you're not then overloading yourself as well with, everything else that's happening in the world. It's literally just an hour on Mannatech and that's it. And when I say an hour on Mannatech and that's it, I mean, there's no cooking dinner at the same time. There's no TV in the background. It's literally just focusing on your business. Okay. Do you want me to leave that up? Do you need to? Does anyone want to write that
Can I
down or
just
anything?
take a screenshot? if
Yes, of
that's all
course.
right?
Yeah, me too.
Definitely.
There's a lot of really good ideas here.
Yeah. And also the benefit of doing it every day is the
Mhm.
consistency creates momentum.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, there's a bit more down the bottom.
Now I don't know how to get back again.
Cool. Is there a scroll down on that page, Andrew, or is that the
No,
bottom?
that's the last
Oh,
one.
it's just cut off. Okay, cool.
So are
Oh,
these
what's
all different from the ones you just mentioned before?
Yeah. So your elevator pitch practice, which I think is a good one. So what your opening pitch to people is, you want to practice that. So you've got that down pat, and of course it's going to take a couple of goes to fine tune it to what actually works. But you still need to practice it, almost on a daily basis. So you've got it, or you know it like the back of your hand. The product knowledge quiz is always good. You can always learn a bit more about our products. And because we've got so many products, it's hard to remember all of it. Well, for me, it is. But yeah, so most of them are different. Well, actually, I'm pretty sure all of them are different when I did them.
That's a great idea, the product knowledge quiz. We could do that at the Lumi events or whatever we do, because you're like, there is a quiz and there will be a prize to make people pay attention. I like that.
Awesome. So out of the few that I mentioned at the beginning, which was content creation. So we could spend the next half an hour creating some sort of social media post or blog. We've got a networking explosion, which is kind of hard, but you could try. Let's not try and do that one. Training and development focus.
Try.
That's yes.
Do or do not. There is no
there's
try.
Only do.
Correct. The networking explosion, though, is you would have to go through your LinkedIn profile and find groups that you can align yourself with and become, and that becomes your networking platform. Really, well, LinkedIn is basically designed for networking, so that is a good one to go to. The training and development focus, so we could dedicate the remaining of our time training or development, which I'd then ask Karen to help out with. Sorry, I know you weren't working. You didn't think you were working
No, I
tonight.
don't mind. I don't mind.
So we could do that, or we could plan, set goals, and track progress. So spend the rest of our time together, which is another half an hour, setting goals that we could look at, or that you would look at achieving for the week, for the month.
Mm-hmm.
What do we feel like doing? I was going to open it up for everyone. Everyone can have their 2 cents worth. Social media, networking, training, or goals.
Social
go for
media,
goals.
please.
Karen's goals. Sorry, what was that? Who else?
Social media.
Social media.
Social media
Yeah,
and goals.
I don't know
maybe.
what to do or how to do it or what we're allowed to do.
Yeah.
Oh, with social media.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we could look at doing that. Anyone else going to put their 2 cents in? Come
So
on,
are we
guys.
just having this time to actually do a social media post?
this
is
an
what
Yeah.
it
So
open
it would be to
discussion?
create one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I think half an hour is a fair bit of time, but
Mm.
I know that people do take a bit of time
Yeah.
to do social media stuff, but I'm happy to do goals and social media. That's
So if
not
we
too
did
much for
goals, are we going
people.
to discuss it on here as a
Yes.
Yeah.
So
group?
the next half an hour, I wanted us to choose on what we wanted to talk, like kind of do, but we would talk about it as a collective and throw ideas around. So that, yeah. So if it was social media, then we would talk about, okay, so what are we all going to look at doing? Is it a Facebook post, or is it an Instagram post? Are we looking at doing a video, or is it just a singular standalone post with a
all of the above.
yeah.
Well,
No.
you know what? I really like the idea of can't we do a bit of both? Because with this
Mhm.
new silver rush, I think it'd
Yes.
be really great to talk about goals, because
Mm.
the biggest thing we all need is to find people and help them get to new levels themselves, like to Silver Associate to
Yep.
start with, because it's only through us helping other people achieve their goals that we achieve ours.
Definitely.
So I don't know. Could we talk about that?
Yeah, of course. How are we going
What
to
does
talk about that
anyone
in
else think?
goals?
What does anyone else think about talking about creating Silver Associates? Does anyone else think that's a good idea?
Yeah,
No?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well,
Yes.
also
I think
the fact that we've got Dr. Nugent this Saturday, what I always do when he's on is promote on social media how wonderful he is, and that I've listened to him for decades, and that and especially because it's on Nutrivirus. I mean, it's just one product.
Yes. Well, it's the new
so
formulation. Yeah.
yeah, so it will be good for, well, like people get overwhelmed, I've got to take all this stuff, and just to take one, I think it's an excellent entry point. Yeah.
So Karen, how would we talk about the silver rush as a goal?
Well, does everyone understand what it is to be a
No,
Silver Associate? I mean, you made a great slideshow in Adelaide, which everyone on here hasn't seen.
correct.
So that's the first thing to understand, that a Silver Associate is someone who has, shall I say what it is? Is that what you want me to do? Or do you want
Yes.
to?
Well, I was actually just going to try and find that slide if we wanted, and we can show it. Or actually, no, just explain the concept of U+2.
Okay. Well, it's pretty simple, really.
Mm.
It's just, what are we really looking for with people? We're looking for people who are interested in their health, want to be feeling better, people who also would like to get their products free. What else? What are some
people who want to help other people? Yeah.
people who want to help other people?
With
Yeah.
finances and health, there's a lot of people that could do with some extra income as well. So
Okay.
it's a double win. Who do you know that needs help with their health? Who do you know that needs help with their finances? And if they can't afford the products, then I think the Silver Associate way is a great way to, especially with the new bonus, because you can talk to somebody and say, these are great products, and if you start, you just got to refer 2 people, and you'll be a silver associate, basically.
Yeah,
And
basically.
that's pretty much going to pay for your products for the following months. So you really only got to find the first month's order, and it just really gets them going. And we all know once they start taking the products and have great results, they'll get excited and they'll want to tell other people. So it just really gets them going.
The Silver Rush was launched today, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Okay, perfect.
So
Yeah,
basically, you're looking, so we've sort of established the person we're looking for who wants this help. So their initial order needs to be, to get down to 10 tax, it needs to be 150 PV. Their initial order, minimum.
The
And
associate.
they'll get a $50 product free. So we've got to look at all the advantages. Okay, they'll get a $50 product free, which is the probiotics, the GI Pro. And then they just, as Avalon said, just need to find 2 people who do the same thing. Could be 100 PV or up to 150 PV, but going for 150 is great because those 2 new associates then have the same opportunity, which is what you're looking for. So essentially, you've got 3 people with 150 PV, which adds up to over 350 PV. So your initial person is now a silver associate. They're going to get a first order bonus on the 2 people they've enrolled, which is significant because that's 20% of the dollar value that they spent. And they're also going to get the Silver Rush, if they do it in their first 2 months, of $150. It's quite a lot of money.
That's enough to cover their products the second month.
Exactly. Their first month's products would be covered by that.
Mm.
And then the 2 people they introduced, of course, follow by example, and they do the same thing. And the next minute,
teach them to replicate. Yeah,
they're a gold associate before you know it.
And then if everyone keeps doing it, I'll be director before we know it.
And we will have changed global health. Everyone will be on Mannatech. Yay.
Well.
So if we think about what we've just talked about and how would we put that into a goal? So now we want to look at, okay, we want to set some goals for the next week and month. What do we need to do to get our first silver associate?
Make a list of people.
Make a list? Well, yes.
Contact.
Definitely. Where do we find those people that we want to contact?
Talk to your customers.
They could be current customers.
Yep.
The lady
Current
you sit
customers
next to
that
at the
upgrade.
cricket.
Sorry?
Oh, yes. Who's sorry?
I said the lady you sit next to at the cricket.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Anyone, maybe anyone that has previously ordered that hasn't, they might know other people that could benefit from the product, or even your current customers, they might know other people that could benefit from the product, especially if they know how great it is already.
Well, referrals.
That's a good point, because it did say in the Silver Rush detail that if a customer upgrades, this applies, even though they might have been a customer for a long time. If they upgrade, it starts from then, the 2 months to get that 150. And they're already somebody who's on the products, likes the products, wants the products, possibly would like to take more but can't afford more. So we go and show them how. I like that idea.
Yeah. And if they've been taking it for quite a while already, they already know the benefits of it. So they would know other people that could benefit from it. But it would be very easy for them to make it to Silver Associate very quickly, I would say.
Or even the customers that you reach out to, if they're not keen to become an associate, just say that, well, that's absolutely fine, but do you know anyone else that could benefit from the products you're taking, and refer them to me and I will look after them, you know?
Yep.
So,
and if also with that as well, anytime that the person who referred them, if they ever decided that they wanted to upgrade to a customer, then the person that they referred becomes their customer.
oh, does that happen? That's really cool. So if I'm an associate and I enroll a customer, that customer decides they don't want to be an associate at this point in time,
but
then they
know
refer
people
somebody.
Yep.
then that still would be their person down the track if they upgrade to an
Yep,
associate. Oh,
correct.
that's really cool.
If when you do the enrollment, you're stating that that's who referred them.
Yes.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yep.
they're going to be your customer to start with, but as soon as that referrer becomes an
Decides
associate,
to-
then it
okay.
transfers over.
That's cool. I like that. So
Mm.
they don't miss out on. So yeah,
Yeah.
oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, if I understand correctly, you got to send the referral link from your customers.
Account. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know everyone how we've got our personal Mannatech website.
Mm-hmm.
It's I think it's in that area, isn't it, Ilza?
Yes.
Or is it that link itself?
It's got
it might-
referral link
link.
on your front page. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
But
So
not yours, your customer's referral link.
correct.
Yeah, in their page. Yeah.
They got to use theirs, and
Yep.
then they get 20% of the first order anyway.
Correct. Yeah. In loyalty
Ah.
points, isn't it? Loyalty.
Yeah.
I think it's loyalty points. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. 20% off the first order.
And you know, there's another.
Rolling.
I know we're talking about Silver Associate, but there's another really good thing happened too. Anyone new coming in, if they enrolled just one customer, even,
Yep.
they're going to get the first order bonus. And then in the second month, they actually start to get the power seller bonus on their order and the one customer.
Yep.
So for 6 months after starting, you only need one customer. We all need two because we've been around a while. Even you, Christy. Not really. No, you're still new. You could get away with one. Actually. And you too, Sandy. Yes, because you're both new this month. So,
Yes.
but
Well,
you
yeah.
know, for those of us, but so anyone new coming in only needs one customer to qualify for the power seller bonus for 6 months.
Yes.
And then you need two. You
Yep.
know. So it's really quite easy to get some money.
We're trying to make it easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
bit of money coming in the early days to keep you going. Yeah, it's good. It's great. And the power seller bonus, Mum, that means it's 10%.
If it's 200 PV, sorry,
Yeah.
to 499, it's 10%. But if it's 500 PV or over, then it's 15%.
15.
I beg your pardon. Sorry.
That's right. You're still thinking of the first order bonus, I think.
So you get
First
10%
order
on
bonus
the
is-
dollar value of your order plus your customer's order, as
Mhm.
long as your
Yeah.
customer's order's over 50 or 100 PV. Is that right?
Customer has to be over 50.
Yeah. To classify as an active customer.
Which is just one bounce back if you really want to do that, or one catalyst, you know. They're good PV.
Good.
Yeah.
So bringing it back to goal setting, if we can, what are we going to do for the next week to, get these silver associates who are then going to multiply and become gold associates very quickly and so on. Jerry, Ilza.
We got to talk to people.
Okay. Have you made your list of who are you going to talk to?
The people on your list.
Yes. Have you remember as well what we said previously is that any customers that you currently have, if they upgrade from now onwards, they can also go for the silver associate bonus. So that customers are always good to try and upgrade because as we said, they've already tried the products and they know how good they are. Is there anything else that anyone can think of that they can do in the next week or a month as a goal?
I'm going to do well, I've already invited lots of people to a Zoom call, which is good.
Excellent.
An old customer, some current customers, some current associates, and some new people. New people that I met this week by wearing my Lumi pin, by the way, to work. That opened up a conversation, so that was cool. And I like your idea about doing the product knowledge quiz, because I think that would be a really cool thing to send out to existing customers as well, just to see how much they're learning from all our education. That'd be cool.
Yep.
And just keep them engaged. And
you
get
could
that
actually-
elevator pitch done. So
Yes.
I am ready, because when the Lumi pin got asked about, I was impressed that I sort of said something that made sense, because when people ask you, what do you do? Well, what's this about? You need to sort of be able to go quickly in a succinct way that's something that's going to get them to ask more questions. So it is good to have just like a quick one-liner that you can say, this is what I do, you know, and make it sound interesting so that they ask more questions.
What was yours, Avalon?
What's that?
What's your
What's
elevator
mine?
pitch? Let's hear it.
Well, when she said to me, what's your pin? And I said, oh, that's my health business that I do on the side. And I said, but I've worn the pin today because it looks really pretty with my top. And then we got our coffees and we sat down. She's like, so tell me more about your health business. What's this?
Yep.
And so I just told her I help people with their health and do hormonal health calls every fortnight with my mum and do free presentations, and the result is she's coming on the call tomorrow night. So that's good. We
Fantastic.
talked a bit more about it, but you really don't need to say too much. You just say a little bit, enough to get interest, and then the beauty of having backup support with your team is you can just invite them to stuff, which is really simple.
Definitely. And I'm glad you brought that up in the sense of your elevator spiel needs to be enticing for someone to ask questions about following it. Does that make sense? So yeah, and like you said, only all of 30 seconds maybe at most. It needs to be, but it needs to end with a grab that people are going to be interested in and go, oh, you just said this. What does, like, tell me more about this. Maybe we should talk about that for the next couple of minutes. Okay, Karen, what's your elevator speech or spiel?
I was just going to say too, I think it was a really good point there was that Avalon had the pin on, because I've had that happen to me in the past. Some reason wearing a pin or something attracts comments.
Yeah.
So
Get
you
a
know,
pin.
that's a good idea. You've got a Lumi pin.
I must say, I did say more than what I just told you guys, so I should probably tell you what else I said. I said I work with amazing supplements that I've been taking since I was 19.
Yep.
And they are quite special. It's a science-based company, and they work with glyconutrient products, which is for cellular communication. And then I said we do the hormone health calls. And if you want to come on and learn all about it, you can. That's pretty much all I said.
Awesome.
And she's coming on. She just responded to my email and said, cool, I'll see you tomorrow. I was like, yay.
And Lynn has said, never answer with a fire hose. Not sure what that...
Haven't you ever heard somebody try to explain so much that people glaze over and take a step back and go, oh, heck, why did that come out? That's what I mean by never answer with a fire hose. Always best to actually ask some questions too, because that will actually engage the person and get them talking rather than you as well.
Doing all the talking.
So if you can introduce a question of, you know, with
or a key word too that gets, like, the hormonal thing is such a hot topic. It makes everybody's got hormonal issues. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people.
But they just
everybody.
Pretty
and
much.
when I said that key word to this particular lady, she's like, oh yeah, I think I'm going, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, how old were you when you got your period? Like you said, asked her a question, so then she's sort of involved. And I said, okay, well, you should have your periods for 40 years, so you've gone in a little bit early. And then she was sort of interested in what I had to say, so it was relevant to her. So yeah.
Brilliant.
Well, it's good to have something to invite people onto.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So if you've got something going, you could have a night just on products, you know.
Yeah.
You can do free Zoom calls, you know.
Yeah.
You can do 45 minutes and just have this call and invite a few people on, you know, just have it set up and say, oh, well, we've got this special call on, which sort of takes it away from you. It becomes not so personal. We're finding that works because it's sort of a bit anonymous, you know. People can just come on and listen to something. They're not personally as confronted, perhaps.
So what other keywords do you think would be good in a quick pitch? Maybe what's something else that people talk about?
Immune system at the moment.
Yes.
Yes, always.
Yeah.
How would you
Yeah.
do that? How would you bring up the immune system?
When they're asking, I often talk about just whatever the person is asking. That's what I'm leading towards. So it might be something totally different altogether. It might be something to do with they're always got colds at this time of year, and immune systems are really under attack, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
It might be just a
Always.
simple lead in like that, and it develops always develops into something a little bit more as you lead along. But the simpler we can keep it, the better it is. And they need to always leave wanting more, so that you've got to go, but okay, well, we'll be in touch, we'll have a call so that your next appointment's set up.
Yes, you want to grab their details so you can stalk them on Facebook and stuff.
Exactly.
No.
It's a good idea to have some blank business cards in your wallet or a little notepad or something like that, so that you can get their phone number. And if I how will I put this? If people ask me for my phone number, I say, well, can I have yours? Because, sharing's part of living. And, sort of put them in. And then if they're serious, they'll say, oh, okay. If they're not, they'll say, no, I don't want to do that. I'll say, okay.
I think that's a great idea, Pauline, having some blank white cards for people to just write their name and number on if you're having a chat. I think that's really a great idea. Right, I'll do that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I just say something about the gaddy pitch or the elevator pitch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been always saying, have you heard of our company? If I'm at the market, have you heard of our company? And they say no, and I say, well, we're a science-based company, and we founded glycans which support the immune system. And they just go boom. Anyway, the other day I was thinking, what do I love most about the company apart from all the good things that they do in your health, etc., etc. And I started to think about M5M. Sort of went out on a limb a little bit, and I've written myself a gaddy pitch, which I need to learn, about M5M and how it ties in, or how the products tie in with supporting the children. Because people like children, and they don't like children being malnourished, and they don't like to see children dying. So my next market, I'm going to give that a whirl and see, or the next person I speak to, I'll give it a whirl.
Perfect.
And that's just sort of a different tangent, I suppose.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, that sounds brilliant. Well, I was talking to Robin and Kaina over, yesterday, sorry. And I believe Robin does the same thing. Robin, you can pipe up and let me know if I'm saying it wrong now. But I believe Robin generally will lead with the M5M program and how, even your purchase of our products helps them directly. You don't even have to put your hand in your pocket, really. But yeah, Robin, you don't want to
it's a win-win,
correct me?
isn't it?
Well, while you're waiting for Robin, one of the things that you can ask Pauline is actually, do you like your money to do more than just one thing? Something as simple, because it just where you spend your money can make a huge difference to this world.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Now here's Robin.
Yes, Andrew. I don't know whether I can see kind of my IT's out the door going to work.
Oh, no.
Anyway, I can talk. So I'll just say what I want to say.
Yep.
And that is, yes, she's off to work.
Bye.
Sorry about that. Yes, I think that the M5M is a big thing because media now, social media, is really putting a big emphasis on all these children that are being bombed and dying and pulling on the heartstrings of the population. So I think if we look at what's actually topical, then we can cash in on that. And that's a way that I think is a good way of being able to get in. When we did our big women's thing the other weekend here on the Saturday, we did a whole section on that, and I was very interested to see the people that had not been in Mannatech before. They were very interested to come and look at that display and ask a few questions. So I think that, yes, opening out Mission 5 Million is a really good way, and they don't even have to delve into their pocket and get any money out to go and support feeding these poor kids.
Mm.
And if you have that little picture of that gorgeous little Aura girl, then a picture's worth 1,000 words. You just show it, say, this is what these nutrients can actually do.
Well, you were also saying you use the card that comes in the box. So
Yes.
your orders that come with that M5M card,
with the words,
you could just show them that. And you know,
And
the globe on the back of it shows you all the areas that we are supporting. So
and Andrew, I get, as you know, products from the US, and in their box they always have pictures of the children and what and that to me is brilliant, because those little faces, you'd have to have a dash hard heart not to break your heart. So I think pictures do speak a lot, and I'd like to suggest that Mannatech Australasia try something like that as well, or even incorporated in that map. Just one of those little faces, because for me that's
that's a good idea.
We did have some of those at one stage, didn't we, with some little photos on there?
I think so. I know I've got.
I don't recall that Australia ever has put the photos. I always get them in my US box each month. But
I know we used to do it in the when we used to do the flyer, the actual print out flyer that came in the orders. I know we did it in that, but
But as a little postcard thing, no, I don't think we have.
No.
I have to say,
we keep it in your bag.
Those cards were in the boxes for a while before I even pulled it out and read it. And when I did, I was like, oh, that's so cool. What an awesome thing to put in there. So, but I agree, if we had a little picture on there, I think it might grab people's attention more when they get their order and go, oh, this is awesome. Yeah.
Also, if we could have a dot on Australia, would be good.
It would be great if we were.
But we don't have a
dot. Don't
on
we? I thought we did.
No.
No.
Maybe
I know that we had brought that up many years ago because the kids in the outback, they could help, or we could help them as well. But I believe that there was a difficulty in finding the right business here that already, because we needed a kind of like a business that already has something similar up and running that we could then help with, or put in because it's the Phyto, what is it called? Phyto blend. Yeah. That is the main thing that we help with.
To the food.
Yeah.
Andrew, can I just give a little bit of background to something like that? Many years ago, I was offered $20,000 to go to the Aboriginal community in far north Queensland, where there's at any given time 600 children dying of fetal alcohol syndrome. I've been there and I've seen it. So I came back down here fully fired up, ready to go and do this project with this $20,000 a businessman offered. To do it, I had to find a doctor who was going to be able to do a clinical trial with the nutrients to be able to prove to the health authorities, because these kids are all under this health authority submission, to be able to give the product. So my doctor friend, studied at Flinders University for her degree. She's been also at James Cook. She went to every university on the eastern seaboard, including Flinders in South Australia. Not one university would take all her research. She did 3 years of the clinical trials with Manna Bears, and we couldn't do it because the community you're talking about, and I'm trying to be respectful, is very nomadic and they wander about. And so you can't find where you could give it, where it would be a consistent thing to prove that our products actually do make a difference. And that's what we're up against. So if you just have one person, say I went to Normanton, for instance, and I just, on my own bat, got a little group of these little children and started feeding them the Manna Bears, yes, I could do that. But I don't have any backing to make that have any validity. And as Dr. Thornton said to me, Robin, it's not fair to do a double-blind placebo-controlled trial on children that are dying because you're withholding it from them and you're giving it to the others. So it sounds an easy thing to do, Andrew, but I've been there and I've slaved my guts out, to be quite frank, to try and get that to happen. And so did Dr. Thornton. And the businessman was very disappointed because he had the money and he was prepared to do it, but we just ran into constant red tape.
Yeah.
And
What
as
a
we discussed yesterday, the red tape is because we're not a pharmaceutical and it can't be controlled by them.
Yeah.
And that's your problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Pauline,
just
we would
really
love to have a little dot on Australia, but
I can
maybe eventually.
I can give you Vincent. Vincent's a dot.
Yes. Definitely. Sorry, Karen, you
I
put your
just
hand
think
up.
I was just thinking about the elevator pitch, you and Pauline, and the markets sort of bringing this up. Something I've often said is because people have a concept when it comes to children that they're dying from starvation, and that's not the case. They're dying from malnutrition, which is a very big distinction. And,
did I not say that? I understand.
No, I didn't say you didn't say it, but I think it's something we can say. You know,
Yes.
we're just an elevator pitch, for instance, saying a lot of people think that all the dying children in the world are dying from starvation. You know, we see these pictures of little black babies with fat stomachs, but it's not that, it's malnutrition. And that's what our company does, is not just provide rice and carbohydrates and cereals to feed them, stop them. They're actually providing a nutritional supplement, which is what our company is famous for. So it sort of leads into us and makes the distinction.
That's really good, Mum.
What
Yeah.
M5M is.
Yeah.
And our aim, you know, and say our aim is to help 5 million children. And the other thing that I really love about it too is that once they go to a place, and I've been to a couple of the orphanages personally in Mexico, I've seen the changes in the children. They add this phyto blend into their big pot of Mexican mix, what they're having for lunch, and the things I saw were mind-blowing. But the thing is, once they start, and this is what Robin's referring to, which is the problem in Australia, they don't stop. It's not a one-off.
Yes.
You know, once they have an organisation taking the phyto blend in and it's set up, those children, it's not just a 1 month. You know, they're on it for life, as long as they're there. No, it's just not a one-off thing. Once it's set up, it's set up.
Yeah.
And that's really important, you know, because it's not just a truck comes in with a heap of food. You know, it's an ongoing program for every child.
The other thing,
so there's a lot of things to be proud of about that. So there's a few things you could say. But I think that starvation and malnutrition is a huge issue in an elevator pitch, if you want.
And then you could even lead into there and say, and it's crazy, but actually a lot of people in our Western world are suffering from malnutrition too, and lead in that way because we are eating lots of food and not getting any nutrition.
I must say there's the difference between feeding and nourishing. We are into nourishing.
Yes,
that's right.
And I think, Robin, you mentioned we as practitioners, we get trained heavily from Australian companies, and some of these companies have already got very well established feeding programs. I can send you some names, and they got very good mechanisms, very well established. They're feeding and nourishing a lot of these kids in Australia, in Aboriginal communities. It's not difficult to do, but you need to align with one of these organizations. But a lot of clinical data they have gathered. One of the big things in Australia is this condition to do with one of the bacterial infections that you got in these communities. I forget the name of it. The rheumatic fever.
Yes.
Rheumatic fever is very highest in Australia, Australia compared to the rest of the world in these communities. And they have horrendous problems.
And dialysis, Diandra.
Yeah, dialysis.
The other big problem in Kalgoorlie, where I went, every single Aboriginal child was on a dialysis machine.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
So is 500,000 Singaporeans are in dialysis now.
Tragic.
So it's a global problem. So it's not people in Africa and all this.
No,
that's right.
Absolutely.
Your own backyard.
Malnutrition is everywhere.
We are seeing that in our clinic. We predominantly see 99% Europeans in our clinic. We see malnourished kids, malnourished mothers, TikTok making smoothies and taking their totally malnourished, poor gut function. We got a classic case, a 5-month-old boy, didn't have any responses, no eye contacts. We put him on straight away on Ambertros complex and GI Pro small quantities. And he has turned around. He's today smiling. I got a photograph actually. He's smiling. His hair started growing. Unbelievable changes. We just see in front of our own eyes. You see how much
we can't see.
I can't see that.
We can't lift it higher.
Lift it high, Diandra.
Right into the camera.
Up. Oh, that's it.
Thank you, George.
Very cute.
1 month on the product.
1 month on the product.
Yep.
Wow, that's amazing.
Do we have like a bunch of stories or testimonials somewhere that we can share that are approved for sharing?
No.
No.
No, we're not
Sorry,
allowed to
answer
do
that
that,
question.
Peter.
The
Testimonial.
You can get a customer to have a testimonial because a customer can't earn from our business. They're only a consumer of the products, but anyone who is an associate, you cannot make a testimonial about our products.
You can tell your personal story.
Yes.
But you can't write anything down and send it out.
No, you can't use it as marketing material, basically.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things we are seeing is severe constipation.
Oh, yes.
Constipation. So that's where I believe GI Pro is making this new GI Pro is absolutely fantastic. Because if you look at every probiotic mentioned, there has got a number plate next to it. It's got, I call it a number plate. Those number plates are clinically validated. You can't put those numbers next to the probiotic unless they're clinically validated.
Okay.
We're just giving GI Pro alone. Nutrivirus has been a big hit in our clinic, but it's now formula is changing. That alone has been assisting many health conditions, multiple.
Well, it shouldn't change really that much. And Dr. Nugent will be talking about it this Saturday.
Yes.
So, yeah. Awesome. Well, I think we'll probably wrap it up with that because it's now 8 o'clock. And thank you very much for joining me tonight. And I'm glad we got some work done. But as you can see, as you can see, that a power hour, especially just dedicating an hour to your business, can benefit quite a lot. And you can get, like I said, a lot done within an hour if that's the only thing you're concentrating on. When there's all these other distractions around you, it's very hard. If it was asked about the slides tonight, I can add them to the Facebook page or something like
That'd
that
be awesome.
as pictures that you can then download and print off if you need.
Cool.
But the recording from tonight will also be available as of tomorrow. So, but on that note, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope everyone got something out of it.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you.
Thank
Have a good night, guys.
Thanks,
Have a
Talk
good
to you later.
night. See ya.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.